And we're back underground at a train station that last session we found out probably belonged once upon a time to a coalition of 3 noble houses. Long since abandoned maybe hundreds of years ago and now co-opted into having a criminal element run their trains through it. Intense fight that we kind of cut off immediately, but I believe as it is right now, 2 members of the Glomide have surrendered at the top of the stairs. There are more being arrested by peacekeeper forces to the north, and I believe Dafer is unconscious on the ground right now. Is there anything anyone wants to do in particular?
Hira is going to immediately sort of drop down and slide over and frantically begin patting at Dafer.
Is that a medicine check or
that will be a medicine check as best as she can. She's not very good at it. So
give me a medicine check. You recently learned some triage, so. Adhira, you've never seen Dafer quite this bad before. An actual sort of like cut along the body, you can see blood starting to pool up beneath them. It is the wet, slick feeling on your fingers as you turn Dafer over that kind of pulls you out of your training. As you look down your hand, you have your friend's blood across your fingertips and palm. As you look down, you are not expecting to feel this sensation. Dafer, you give me a death saving throw, please.
Will do. I did not have my sheet open. Give me a second. That needs to load. Character sheet. Do my successes and failures from the fight still carry over? Because I had 1 success.
They absolutely do carry over. You have 1 success.
Okay.
2 success.
A second success. The situation does not slip further. Does anyone else have anything they want to do at present?
I could try to assist someone with a medicine check, but
my fucking arm is broken.
Yeah, indeed, Caliban, you are also somewhat medically impaired. I mean, if Uther and Adhira, if Uther, you want to kind of move over and try and get Adhira back on track. One of you give me a medicine check with advantage. Probably Uther, because I think obviously Adhira is distracted, as it were.
Alright, then we'll get to Caliban in a minute. Then I'm just going to kind of shake her, just look her in the eye, just kind of lock eye, get her to focus, and medicine check.
Whew. Uther, as you're looking at Dafer, you see where you would expect them to be injured from being bitten is not where the bite marks are. Because of the size of the jaw, it's not like across the neck or anything. It's like across the pectoral muscle down towards the stomach. Some of the bleeding is to some degree inconsequential. It sounds funny to say that, but like it's an area that will be okay. However, on a natural 20, you patch up like the injury to like the upper gut area, and eventually like Adhira and yourself manage to bandage and gauze things up. The 2 of you do stabilize Dafer. Dafer is alive on 0 HP, but unconscious for now.
I'm just riding the hyper-focus of Form of Dread right now.
As you guys are doing that, in the distance, several oozes, slimes have made their way onto different surfaces. You see a few peacekeepers raising crystals and guns at them, only for the corporal to raise like a hold fire hand up, and will shout across the train station at you, Clara, if you can clear the slimes from eating the evidence at present.
I'm who's been like, I've just been standing over.
Yes.
What do you need them not to touch, specifically?
He gestures at the trains, and one of the peacekeepers right now has their rifle up above their head as one of the slimes is like trying to pseudopod up towards the weapons that they're holding to like get a taste of rifle.
I'm gonna run over here where I can see all the slimes, and I suppose like pillar and clap my hands, so hopefully they pay attention to the sound and they can see that I'm trying to get their attention.
Yeah, give me animal handling advantage for a good vantage point.
18.
18. Yeah, I think you're able to kind of get the attention of most of the slimes in here. There are a few fabric slimes that are like chewing on couches and things like that and eating like old textiles from books and wood and things. But most of the metallic ones are definitely paying attention to you, Clara.
Yeah, I'll leave the fabric slimes to eat the sofa. I'm gonna turn to my little pharaoh slime. Can you tell them they can have anything but not the trains and not what the peacekeepers are holding?
Ooh. Give me a straight animal handling check on this one.
Another 18.
I think what happens is you watch your pharaoh slime direct them towards like old plumbing pipes and things like that. Like instead of being like able to communicate exactly what it is, kind of distracts them with something they can eat more than anything is what you watch it kind of slink off and do for the peacekeepers who start grabbing up individuals to be arrested and start combing through the location looking for other evidence and things to discover. Is there anything more people want to do?
Oh, now that I can actually see what's going on because the train was in my way, I'm gonna come down here and try and set Caliban's arm.
It's broken, not dislocated.
Well,
It needs to be. You need to set the bone.
yeah, it's still at a funny angle, Caliban. So yeah, I mean, give me a medicine check, Clara. Yeah.
Oh god.
26.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you ask Caliban, Clara, or do you just like walk up and like yank?
That would be really funny, but I don't want him to go into shock. I'm going to set it. Stay still.
Alright.
And yeah, Caliban.
I'll put it back into as close of a place as it could be for now, and I will, I suppose, like take his like robes or a little sling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely already made a makeshift sling with it.
Yeah, I think Caliban did give himself a sling, so you still got that. But yeah, I guess, Caliban, you feel a moment of like white-hot pain, and then a like dull throbbing that starts to eep away into a numbness. With your shell and just who you are, you can feel as the ends of the bone meet together, already the fusing. You can almost feel the regrowth of bone, where it's going to have like a sort of calcified layer over the top underneath, but it will reattach itself underneath.
Got it.
Anything, Uther, Atir?
Open around?
Oh yeah, definitely want to poke around and try and see what I can loot. But can we narratively say like we put Dather over on one of these couches, like, or by the
you
stairs for the peacekeepers?
You can find somewhere to like set them. Probably not the couches, covered in slime, but like you can hand them over to the peacekeepers.
Grab a slime, set it down on one of the couch, put Dather's head on it like it's a pillow, just pat it on his head, like, stay there. But yeah, if me and Uther want to just sort of poke around, see what we find.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can see there are 3 trains. There are tons of individuals that are currently being like manacled and led away by peacekeepers. Some of them are keeping watch over the area in general. Some of them have like moved into different locations throughout the station. There are the two individuals that seemed more like higher ups compared to the other. So there's the one like pistolier and the one guy who has a quick fire on his body. One of the like experimental shell creatures that I think you've come across a few times now. Otherwise, obviously, there was the gun that was dropped as well that you could look for.
Okay, I was going to ask if the gun was dropped. That's what this little note up here was me.
Yeah, technically,
reminding myself.
it was dropped off the balcony down towards the tracks rather than like on the balcony itself, but it should be somewhere down there.
Then I would like to go and pick it up.
Yeah, give me an investigation check right there. 23. Yeah, you find it like lodged between two sections of track. You'd have to reach down into an uncomfortable location, but the train isn't moving anywhere, right? So like, it's safe.
Yeah.
It has the like image of danger. If a train were to come along, it wouldn't be pleasant for you. But this one's kind of sat in station anyway. Happy to grab it?
Yeah.
Okay. Grabbing hold of it, lifting it up. It is similar to the previous revolver you found, to the other random axe weapon. It is just as ornate, but it seems to be made of different material. This one is like, kind of like a pyrite-looking gun. Like, it almost looks golden when you look at it, but it's got like a sheen of pinkishness to it, like a kind of like a rose gold gun. And one of the bullets has been fired. There are 5 rounds remaining.
Okay. Yeah. Pocketing that in case we need a key later.
Yeah. Atira, anything in particular you'd be looking at?
Things that are stored away. Valuables, money, not evidence, but...
Okay. Yeah, give me an investigation.
It's all
check.
evidence.
14.
Most of the peacekeepers have swarmed the central train. With there being that much, gloaming powder on the back of it, that seems to be their main concern. That leaves the other 2 trains that you could more easily explore yourself at here, especially with the fronts having been blown out. You could just walk onto one of them. Which of the 2 trains would you prefer to check? The one at Station 1 or the one at Station 3? Or Platform 1 or 3, I should say.
Station 3 is
Okay.
the closest.
Yes, it is.
And lets me make the most of the chaos.
Okay. Walking on board, looking more for valuables than anything else. You do see there is a jewelry box in here. With the Fjordis family crest on it.
Yoink.
Yeah, picking it up, you can feel there's some heft to it. Maybe more than one piece of jewelry in there as it like slides around a little. It's like decently big, but not so big that you couldn't hide it in a lot of fabric at here, especially with your particular background, shall we say.
Running my thumb over the lock, do I feel any magic? Like, it's
No,
not magically locked?
and the lock has been broken. So, like, they didn't pick this when they saw it. They, like, smashed it, like, impatiently. Obviously, they must have just stole the box. They just broke the thing.
I have the feeling I'm gonna open it later. It's just where people have been putting all their older seats. Just... You open a cookie bin and just sewing needles are in it. It's like, damn it.
It's just those little coins you put in trolleys to, like, get them out so that you can push them around the supermarket. It's just a box full of those, yeah.
But other than that, I think I will, as peacekeepers come into these cars, I will go back and be by Dather. Just kind of watch over him.
You can see that peacekeepers are beginning to lay out the broken bodies of this creature you killed, this large jaw creature that you killed. And what had first appeared to you all as like a jumble of different bodies and body parts, as they are placing them out, you see it is, in fact, the same person over and over again, but distinctly from different periods of their own life. So it is as if someone had taken someone, almost like snapshots, every birthday, and each of the bodies looks to be the exact same person at a different year of their life that comprise this creature in its totality.
What does this person look like?
It is a female, and obviously, depending on which body you look at, they look different from being aged to quite young. As a young person, they have dark brown curls. When they get older, obviously goes a bit more gray. They have quite sharp cheekbones, green eyes. There are some other distinguishing features, like you can see at a certain point in their life they had an injury, maybe like an accident climbing or something like that. They hurt their wrist and there is a surgery scar that appears at one of the bodies and then continues on from those bodies forward.
Using my additional hands to sort of give myself a buffer and not directly touch the body, I would like to look for any tattoos, marks intentionally left on a body.
I actually need you to give me an Arcana check here, please, Satira.
Ooh. No.
Looking at the body, no, you don't see any distinguishing marks like a tattoo or anything like that.
Does Terminus?
Terminus doesn't give you any insights into this. In fact, Atira, what you're feeling right now from Terminus is a mixture of confusion and the excitement of seeing something they've never seen before.
Don't like that. She'll be spending most of her time kind of investigating this dead body, is what I'll say.
Okay. Anyone else?
The footprints that we saw in the sewer out here, they were going in, yes?
Yeah, they came in, but they didn't go out.
Can I look for additional hidden passages in here, maybe?
Yeah, of course. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Looking around, you don't find any like seams in the walls, no pressure plates or anything like that. But on a 16, as you're walking around the station, there are a few portraits up on the walls. At this point, there are slimes consuming them. But very suspiciously to you, one of the portraits has been left completely alone by the slimes. They are in the area around it, but they seem to have left it. And it is a portrait of the station itself.
I see. Okay. What condition is the station in the portrait?
Give me a perception check. This seems to be perhaps either it's just been constructed or maybe even before it was constructed. The kind of portrait that you would like present to the noble houses to be like, hey, this is what your station will look like when it's done. On a 20 perception, you can't help but notice that there is an additional doorway on the portrait that is not here in real life.
Could you mark roughly where the doorway would be?
Yeah, it's opposite the entrance that you guys already came through, so on the right here.
Okay.
And it's just
I
the
kind of
opposite side.
figured.
Yeah.
Is the painting magic, or is the painting just lucky to not be consumed yet?
Putting your hand up to it, you do feel that there is an enchantment on the portrait, likely why the slimes did not consume it.
Oh. Does it react to the random acts?
Holding the gun up, at this point, the doorway does appear in reality as there is a slight glow from the portrait, and the door on the portrait opens up to reveal the door on the wall over there, also now open.
Jackpot. And yeah, I'll make my way from the painting towards that door. Probably grab a couple of peacekeepers along the way.
Yep, they'll come over with rifles as well. Anyone else going with Uther heading towards this ring?
Might as well.
Yeah, come on. Stepping inside, it is somewhere between like a storage room and a workshop. In here are unfinished versions of the prosthetic arm that Clara cut off during that combat. You also see several random axe shells that have not yet been filled with any contents. It's just like the casings that are up on like a little, almost like a test tube rack with the bullets kind of inserted at the top, waiting for things to be poured into them.
Okay. I know where. Yeah, okay. I'm going to swipe a few of those.
Yeah, you can grab those. There's another 6 in here. You also see... it looks like there's a bunch of documentation and books and notes in here. And there are a bunch of crates as well. And a little, like, sleeping roll-up sack type thing that's been put on top of... one of the crates as well. So like, kind of just like a bedroll, basically, that's kind of just on top of the crates. Is there anything in there in particular that would draw your eye? I think the peacekeepers would start opening the crates up at this point to see what was inside, but other than that, is there anything that grabs your attention?
We'll go through the documents, I guess, unless Caliban wants to.
If there's anything in High Zemessian that he can translate.
Yeah, I mean, both of you can look through if you want. Both of you give me an investigation check.
Yeah. 1 sec. Investigation. Oh.
Caliban, there are documents here in High Zemessian, but they seem to be like lessons in court etiquette, things that like you would have learned just from the process of growing up, but like how to operate as a butler and major domo, what the proper terms are for individual people in the house, things like that. Uther, on an 18 going through it, you can see some diary entries here written from the point of view of a Victor Howell, and you can also see some diary entries here written from the point of a caster. And as you're looking through them, it becomes evident to you that Victor Howell is the man with the prosthesis. They are the same person. What I will say...
I'll relay that to the soldiers so that way they know who they have in custody.
They obviously would know what that means, but they would pass that on down the line, obviously. On an 18 as well, Uther, a lot of this is encoded. What you're getting is like the easier parts, you know, where like words sort of break Cypher because they're so commonly occurring and things like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you as Uther are sort of like auto-translating sections of this where you're like, Victor Howell keeps coming up and therefore you can work out it is that and all that sort of stuff. There is still
Which is
more.
which would help decode other letters down the road if I
Yes.
had more than like 5 minutes to skim this.
Yeah, exactly so. Opening up the crates, there is like crystal money cards, there are physical pieces of art that have been stolen from different places. We're talking like gold bullion and things like that. Like, there's a lot of wealth in these crates, so the guards like open up a couple of them and then start calling for more people to come and like unload these things.
Goddamn money cards. What are you doing?
What's up?
Anything more from anyone
Oh,
else?
Any chance I could help them unload some of that?
Of course.
Aha!
Yeah. I guess the question is, I mean, they would trust you implicitly. You have been given right of shadow, you fought for them. No one's going to question you from the Matira if you were to assist. I guess Uther and Caliban would definitely see this. I don't know whether they would say or do anything, but yeah.
I'm just gonna judge. I'm just gonna judge her. That's all. That's all I can do.
Technically speaking, I have some money, but I don't have enough money to not have to worry about money. So I see nothing.
Good man. I do think like the implicit trust in her kind of offsets her a little. She'll remain very humble with what she skims off the top.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check.
Stop rolling poorly. Stop rolling poorly. Middle of the run.
Here's my question, Adhira. Would you rather skim a like random crystal card or like a small, very nicely painted like portrait that doesn't have its frame right now? So it's like a little rolled up piece of fabric. Well, they've rolled it up, but you can see, like the Mona Lisa is like this tiny little portrait painting, right? In reality, it's like that size.
I'll take the random portrait. I think she's enough of a magpie where the same old stuff can sort of... It's money, yes, but this is new. This is an unknown.
You take that. Peacekeepers, unknown stuff. The glow-eyed thug who had the quick fire, one of the peacekeepers is able to remove it very easily so some of them had been briefed on them and they were getting ready to surgically remove it, but it just kind of comes away with ease this time.
Well, that's different.
I don't know if anyone wants to look at it, but otherwise they'll transport it for evidence.
What was it again?
It's the
Quickfire that came off easy.
Yeah, it's like the little larval shell thing creature that was attached to a few people that gave them it drained life in exchange for huge bursts of strength.
I guess I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Oh boy, I'm great at these.
What?
Oh boy.
Caliban, I guess at a glance looking at it, you can tell that it has been modified in some sense. There are less attaching limbs on it. The shell appears to be slightly more translucent. The inner gunk that is miasma is more visible inside it. This blackened tar that has been slightly boiled off, so there's some empty space in there. So yeah, it looks quite different to the last few that you saw, but obviously exactly why or what's going on with that, Caliban, you don't know.
This feels more like a Clara question because she's the weird bug expert, the weird thing expert.
Thanks.
Biology?
Wow. What a lovely title to have.
Oh yeah, okay, Queen of Slimes.
Fine, I'm the weird thing expert. Caliban's just a weird thing.
Well, you're an
Come
expert on
on.
Calibans.
Uh-huh.
Go on.
Go on.
That does sound mighty suspicious.
Dafer wakes up from his unconsciousness just to comment on Claraban, goes back to unconscious.
I feel Claraban in my vicinity.
Who needs healing spells?
Many such cases.
The Peacekeepers, once they've started like rolling most of this stuff out, will say to you all, you can head back to headquarters for debriefing. The train in the station, and they nod their head up to like the actual station above, says, is ready to go whenever you are.
Is the other side finished?
He shakes his head, says, I'm not sure. We'll know more when we get back to headquarters, obviously, though. If they're there, then yes.
What about our friend?
Tilts his head. Dafer.
Yes.
We'll give him some medical attention on the way in the train. We have some small facility there to handle that.
Thank you.
No, you managed to stabilize him. He'll be fine. I don't know if before you go, if there's any last thing you guys want to look at. Obviously, there's the broken, like, amethysty looking golem that Caliban was fighting. There's one more train to look at on Station 1. And anything else you can think of poking at if you wanted to.
I would like to look at the golem.
Yeah, I think we should probably try and take some pieces of the golem.
Okay.
Like, it's not quite miasmic nonsense, but if it's able to, like, bend gravity, there's probably something cool you can do with it.
Make spells out of that. I'll assist.
Luther, give me an Arcana check at advantage looking at this golem remains.
1 second.
She's lost it. She wants to steal gravity now.
You said Arcana advantage?
Yes, Arcana advantage, Luther. 27. What I'll say is the core of this golem is well and truly fucked, Luther. Having been hit by, like, basically Caliban with his weight intensified to who knows what many times. It's like fractured to the point of powderization, but in a sense that powder could be taken. In addition to that, there are several almost like pure gem reinforcing struts that were built into the core of the golem that are like some of the only pieces of the chassis that are completely intact. There is also a section of the faceplate that is engraved with runes that you don't recognize.
First things first. Caliban, what the fuck did you do to this thing? And then I'm going to start copying down the runes that I can see on its faceplate.
Okay, you're gonna copy down.
He sort of just Caliban just sort of like gestures to the sling, like I kind of punched it.
There would also be like crumpled individuals that got caught in this gravity well on the ground near, like literally like almost like accordion flattened, right? Like just squashed in by the gravity, where Caliban has this like broken arm.
Yeah, I also did that.
I also did that.
horrifying. Yeah, I'm gonna copy the runes down, figure out what they are later.
But Hero, you were assisting. Would you go for these amethyst rods or the powder?
Powder.
Okay. I think the amethyst rods would be taken by the Peacekeepers as evidence of the golem at that point, then. They would bundle those up and take them.
Bag of powder.
Is that everything for everyone?
I'm gonna go say
Cool.
thank you to all the slimes.
They do, of course.
Like, as many individual groups, I'm gonna go, like, thank them all personally.
They do,
Pillar.
of course,
Pillar.
We saw some of the dust out of the core.
Yeah,
See what we can do with that later.
Atira got the dust, yeah.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
I'm gonna snort it.
Don't snort it.
Do not snort random purple substances.
Do not.
It's crystal.
Gonna take it back to my dorm. Gonna put on some Pink Floyd vinyl and going to float up.
Shred
into
your,
my starry
shred your
ceiling.
lungs.
Fucking Caliban's like, who the fuck is Pink Floyd?
Sorry. What's a good XP for that? Orange. Some of her name. Orange Jason.
Orange. I
Oh,
love.
Jason!
I love Orange. Some other name.
Orange Jason. Who the fuck is Orange Jason?
My
Now
mentor
that's
used
a
to
good
post
question.
The Fence was their best album.
The fence! Shut the fuck up!
That's not the light side of the sun.
The Peacekeepers immediately arrested Hero.
That's fair. I accept.
Not for the crimes they should, but still. Yeah, you guys head on up. Once on board the train, Dafer is woken with, like, smelling salts and given some medical attention. Dafer, the corporal, would brief you and say, relax. You're on board the train. We're heading back to headquarters. Everyone else is fine. You did a good job holding off that creature. It's been defeated now. Try not to sit up too quickly.
I'm going to just slump in my seat.
Oh, I don't need. I think I'm just gonna lie here.
He will hand you like a little cup of water as well.
I'll take a towel as well, if you please.
Yeah, they'd probably be able to give you a towel. I imagine it would be something like that.
Okay.
And then he would go and tell the rest of you that he's awake, he's fine, but he's resting. Train would head straight back to the headquarters. There, as you're getting off, other trains are starting to pull in with, like, different loads of materials and troops from other raids that are going on at the same time. There's a bit of a hive of activity as things are being moved around and personnel are like going onto and off of different trains. There are people sat around with like forms and other pieces of paper that seem to track all of this as they're being directed or conducted from one location to another. You see Grim sat looking very bored in one, like, off near the stairway, almost like, you know, waiting on call. But upon seeing your group arrive, stands up and, like, walks over and says, there's been no call for help. I'll take that to mean that both groups so far have encountered no problems since you're back already.
Define problems.
Nothing you needed to call me for.
Make life easier.
For I think Dafer is just being held up like halfway through Adhira at this point, or whoever.
Yeah.
Well, by that definition, sure.
Looks like you did encounter some heavy resistance then, and he'll step forward and like easily heft Dafer up and start helping him into like the debriefing room.
Well, that's appreciated, but not that fast.
Don't break him. We need him.
What did it? The depraved.
I don't
No,
think I was.
nothing like that.
Huge
Lots
jaws
of teeth.
almost bit me in half.
But not a miasmic, you'd say that if that was the case.
Don't think it. I'd never seen that kind of thing before.
Almost a person, not quite.
I thought they were spirits, but even mine doesn't know what they are.
He just scratches his chin, thinks for a moment. I don't know. Maybe some sort of divergent.
Maybe. One of them burst apart into bodies when we took it down. The same person over and over again with different points of her life. The other one moved like electricity and reformed her body.
He furrows his brow and says, the one that was made of lots of bodies, were there any markings on each of the remains?
Surgery scars, but that's all I found. Why?
No reason, just wondering.
These strangers, they're gone now. The electricity one got eaten up by the big one and just disappeared.
Never seen that woman before either. She's new.
A strange encounter, to be sure.
I mean, roughly, I think mainly like a quarter of the people there were all the kind of capacity we hadn't anticipated being there. Which made all the difference, I guess.
She did say a name. Does anyone remember it?
I mean,
Oh,
sure. Dave would remember because he would have heard it. Guinevere? No, not Guinevere. Something.
Kinuis. Dave would actually say that thing.
Kinuis, I believe. I heard that during the fight.
He shakes his head. Doesn't mean anything to me.
Might be she was a normal person at some point. Seems like it.
Normal persons, by the sound of it.
What about the clown woman eating your runes?
I wasn't even aware that was possible to consume runes.
At that, he'll nod and say, there are creatures that can consume runes, usually specially adapted to do so.
What kind of creature? As in, what? I mean, it was very lightning centric.
He shakes his head
Related, I
and
guess.
says, more like an animal, a beast, mostly subterranean, sometimes mountainous. Similar to what you might imagine or might have heard of like an anteater to look like, but much larger.
I wonder if you can graft these kinds of properties onto a person in some kind of weird fucked up experiment.
The gift of the goddess allows many people to acquire the attributes of things in their environment or someone who spent a lot of time around them, but that doesn't sound like a someone to me, so...
I mean, thinking back, I mean, I do remember the conversation about people from the Zogan jungles and how they can acquire things throughout their lifetime. Does the person we fought with the strong lightning connection look like they had any kind of features or something that would out them as a member of the Zogan jungle?
No, so like normally with the people from Zogan, they will acquire the trait of an animal in their environment.
Yeah.
This individual didn't look animalistic in that sense.
I mean, maybe there's some lightning-based animal. This world is fucked up beyond belief, Sam.
You are right. That is possible, but you would expect there to be a physical change as well. So many people that acquire animal abilities also acquire, or sorry, not many, all of them acquire some sort of animalistic feature too. It could have been that it was hidden under a hat or clothes or something like that. It doesn't sound right to you as you're saying it out loud.
I mean, me as a player, all I saw was like, I think she had blue skin or something.
Yeah, kind of like pale
skin.
almost makeup skin. It was like...
So maybe she had...
It was pale skin lit blue by like her lightning basically. So it would have looked blue but only in flashes. She's more like I described before, like Harlequin pale.
Check.
Have we heard from Axel yet?
He shakes his head and says, the first report we'll get will probably be the return of their train as well. We'll hear it from them before we hear it from a report. Yeah, he'd question you about what you found, what you saw, anything of interest. He'd just sit and talk about the mission and what went through and what happened.
Anything of interest? Can I interest you in slimes?
I think he would be interested in that. Mostly from a like solving a pest problem point of view.
I mean, that's what I thought, but
Yeah.
I care that my plan worked, and I want to brag about it.
He'll nod and say, certainly an effective distraction for what is normally considered a operational insecurity. And I hear the trains were recovered too, so that's an extra plus.
We did alright. Well, also there's a prosthetic just around somewhere.
Oh, there was a whole workshop full of those.
Oh. Well, there's one that's no longer attached to a body, if that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Peacekeepers would start bringing in some of the core evidence into this room and, like, place it on the table after it's been itemized and sort of, like, logged. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. So eventually that arm would be in the room with you guys. So would, like, samples of the powder in small containers and things like that would all be placed in here. Some of the logbooks from that room as well that had been recovered.
Now, I have a concern.
Yeah.
That I've been sitting on for the entire fight. The entrance we took in was booby-trapped.
Yes.
Previously. And then taken down. Why would he not re-trap an entrance.
Grim thinks
Unless they were planning to escape out it or something.
Either perhaps time or, like you said, maybe they wanted to use it as an escape.
Time wasn't the issue because the footprints were old.
Then maybe you're right. Maybe keeping it clear as a secondary escape only for a horde of slime to rush in through it probably made that a less attractive escape route.
Hendrik, do you care to clear up the boot prints in the trap? That was undone by the fellow from Cowboy Town, not the fellow with the robot arm, yeah?
Same person.
Oh, they are the same person?
They are
okay.
the same person, yeah.
Victor Howell and Custer are the same person.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what you actually noticed in the diary entries.
Okay, yeah, sorry,
it's all good.
I'm bad with the names. I'm bad with the names, and I couldn't remember what prosthetic guy's name was.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, they are the same person.
Well, that's one less person we have to hunt down then.
He is in custody, and I'm sure he will be questioned.
The prints were 2 weeks old, I think, is what you said last time.
Yeah, around that.
Or
obviously, it's not exact, but you know, dust and stuff had started to, like, there are cobwebs over it. The dust had started to resettle slightly.
How long had he been serving as Major Domo, though?
Caliban has known him to be Major Domo for as long as, like, Caliban has been, you know, it's like as long as Caliban can remember and, like, visiting as a family friend and stuff. I think that did come up before, but...
I'm so confused at how this guy was living 2 lives in a whole other town and here.
Grim says you captured some of his logs. Perhaps once those are deciphered, it will offer some insight. And then he would take a look at this arm as well and have a look at the inner workings of it as much as he can without, you know, actually, like, cracking it open. It says, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. It's what they call a devil drive. It conjures spirits into it in order to essentially use magic and power itself. Blood sacrifices are required for some of the more complex functions.
And here his face peeks around his shoulder to watch.
Could you repeat the description of the Devil Drive?
A Devil Drive, well, basically, as you're looking inside it, Tira, it's like, inside is inscribed names of the spirits that the drive calls on, and then there are channels for blood to pass over the names, and then behind that, there are, like, pre-written parchment contracts that go into different containers along the arm. And, like, the lower down the arm from the shoulder, the more potent the contracts and deals and things are, including, as you saw in the warehouse, the conjuring of one of these spirits as well. Yeah. It is a... it's from the prosthetic arm, Dafer.
Okay. Now I understand.
He would also note that one of the functions of the arm would allow the user to return to set points.
Which I assume is what he tried to do to escape.
Yes, basically like word of recall is one of the functions of the arms.
Yeah.
Does Terminus seem familiar with any of the names etched? Like,
in like not in like a personal sense.
okay. I was wondering about like a first, like, are any of your friends?
Give me an insight check, please, Atira as well.
I'm also of the belief that he could also and just have a grudge with everybody.
There tends to be like a general theme to the spirits. They're about like devils of isolation, about pushing people away to like protect yourself. There's like that's the general theme of them, and like words for individuals that might be a bit prickly or otherwise defensive.
Maybe the matron knows some of these.
I mean, I can ask when I get there next time. Sam,
Yeah.
for my own purposes, Castor did this kind of setup with devils and powered it with blood. Would it be possible to set something similar up with the power source not being blood and the target spirits not being devils?
In an infinitely more expensive way, yes. Essentially, you could do it. It would require using a lot of crystal because you would need individual sections of it to be powered. The fact that devils will take certain payments because of their own predilections makes this infinitely cheaper to do with devils, should we put it that way.
Check. Which is why devils are so prevalent in general.
Yes.
Makes sense to me. I think David would still kind of... Because his everything hurts, he just tries to occupy his brain and does so by theory crafting a device like that. Just imagining, okay, if I had like crystal and I just burned as a temporary power source an entire Barrack shard, what could you do with that? How could that look like? What are the power scales, etc.?
Yeah, give me a quick Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana. Where is my... Oh god. There's my sheet. Arcana. There.
What you keep bumping into on a 15-day fair is the requirement for all these power sources to be there starts making the arm very bulky. And when you have a bulky arm, it starts becoming a question of articulation and also balance on behalf of the individual using the arm. So what you kind of keep running into is like, if I wanted to try and recreate this, I would need it to do like 2 things, not the like 12 things that this arm can actually do at present. Like that's the biggest sort of roadblock, is the miniaturization of the power sources that would be the biggest roadblock. As you're thinking this through, the door would open, Zeta would walk in, Axel would be there. You can see that he has fought hard, but he's not physically injured, but you can like, there's usually a pressure that comes off him from his shell barrier that isn't there as much. His clothes are a little disheveled. There is some like spray, a pattern of blood across his uniform that he wore for the mission and stuff. There is a sort of like soft exhale upon seeing the group of you here. His eyes would pass over Dafer. There'd be a moment of concern before seeing that, like, obviously Dafer's in here and that everyone seems to be sat. So he would take his seat and say, well, step 1 accomplished. How are you all?
Fucking shit.
I
In one
hurt
piece.
all over.
Honestly, it's not that bad.
Caliban in a sling.
I
I fling a
we sent
pencil
your
at
arm.
him.
Bruh, if I give you poison, can you poison him for me?
I got some small briefing on the way here. Walking up, people informed me of some of the threats you dealt with, and of the success of your distraction. He'll nod at Clara, and he'll obviously catch up with you about what happened, and he'll also say, I encountered resistance mainly in the form of several Sin agents that had embedded themselves into the security forces of their home. From documents I was able to uncover, it seems like a task force under codename Gluttony has been hired by the Glowmite. I did not encounter their main agent, only supplicants to the main agent were there at the time, which means we may yet encounter an individual like you did on your away mission by the name of Envy, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So Blue Lightning Girl that ate my runes was called Envy.
No.
No, Envy
No,
was
no.
in the caves. Gluttony might
Oh,
potentially be
apologies. Yeah.
that individual.
Okay.
Or maybe the big woman.
And here I
No.
thought Envy had come back to bite us.
It couldn't be. When we encountered Envy, Terminus recognized it as a spirit. That genuinely kind of like butchers the word in her accent. She's something new.
Yeah, I mean, Axel would listen to your description of it and come up short as well. It's nothing he's seen, it's nothing Grimm's seen. Zeta hasn't heard of it. They make a note to, like, put in a call for an expert on... well, Zeta would listen to your description and say, same person across multiple points in their life. That sounds like fourth dimensional creature to me. The ability to manipulate time. But she shakes her head and says, only one, or maybe two beings in all of existence have come from that place. The goddess and the scourge. And there's no way you defeated some other goddess or scourge-alike creature. No, it has to be something else, but still.
I think I might consult the Sage Archive next chance I get.
I think in the driest tone Dave can, he's just gonna say, wow, way to underestimate us.
She'll laugh.
First mission away, rescue a lost Eldritch Knight. Second mission, fight a god.
Sounds like our power curve.
That was
If
most
you're-
a character.
Hey, Capri.
Yeah.
Look in the sidebar for the chat and see if that's something you want to do.
She would bring up the fact that she tried to use a 4th level spell, Banish, in an attempt to move the Lightning Woman away. That was the most fear we got out of her, the most of a reaction. She was afraid of being sent somewhere, wherever she came from.
At that, Grim and Axel would say, that does sound like a deprived. I mean, they don't want to go back to where they came from. That much is true. Yet, this strange aspect of multiple bodies across the same time, that's different. Maybe this is some alternate form of manifesting them that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Adhira is going to quickly sort of excuse herself, get up, and leave the tent. I sniff the air. Do I still feel any hint of spirit?
Yeah.
Not mine?
Not yours. Very, very faint. Very much trying to hide.
I'm gonna hunt it down. I'm just gonna excuse myself from the meeting early.
Axel will raise an eyebrow at you, but at the same time excuse you, like give you permission.
Following my nose.
Give me an investigation check. 14, Atira. It's one of those things where, like, every time you feel like you're going the right way, you suddenly feel yourself being pulled in another. As you find yourself, like, backtracking again for maybe, like, the 20th time, Terminus will whisper in your ear, I'm loath to admit this, but whatever this thing is we're trying to find, I think it might be, shall we say, a higher rank than me?
Higher rank than you? But you're, aren't you pretty important?
Well, yes, of course I'm pretty important. I mean, rot and decay has been here since, well, before the goddess. I'm older than she is, you know. But there are some things more intrinsic, more prevalent than even I.
Remind me to ask you about that later. And she's going to return silently, slipping in, giving Axel a little look that's like, I couldn't find what I was looking for, and take her seat again.
As you walk back in, Zeta is in the process of laying documents out that were taken from the home that was raided that showed transactions between one of the judges' groups and himself, specifically the main assembly. There are even documents with the name Isaac McNair on it, which shows that this very important judge has had business dealings with a criminal organization for years upon years, as she is putting them down on the table and sort of going through this. I think that you can see that, like, that there's like a growing excitement from Zeta that is not echoed by many of the other people in the room. There's like you can see on Axel's face, he's starting to get the idea that this is going to be difficult. From Grim, you're getting this like, he's old and he's been here a long time, and it's not exactly what I would call, like, he doesn't seem overly surprised, but he also doesn't seem overly anything. And several of the peacekeepers that are supposed to just be like on here, on guard, the corporals and sergeants, you can see the nervousness begin to set into them as Zeta lays out what she thinks her case is going to be. Almost oblivious to all of them, she sets it all aside and says, today has been an utter success. I could not have hoped for a better beginning to our process here. There are 2 more targets remaining. I will allow you to split them amongst yourself as you see fit. But we need to get this done perfectly. There can be no blemish on what we do whatsoever. It must be airtight as possible. To that
Unless
end,
we find
unless you find.
Unless we find a magical way to stitch me back together, I'm not doing anything in the next 4 or 5 days.
She nods and says, well, the original timeline was to allow you this week in order to get this done.
I'm saying, so Sam, does that include a long rest?
If you need it to, you can. Obviously, the more time you take between now and doing it, the more time has passed.
Yeah.
So that's a discussion between you guys.
What are the two targets that are remaining?
There is the museum, which has potential magical artifacts and other things like that that are being used. And then there is the warehouse, which is probably storing like gunpowder, guns, and barrack weaponry, things like that. Those are the two targets remaining.
Can we change out our crystals? Of course we can. I feel dumb asking this now.
Axel nods and says, we'll still have access to all the resources of the academy.
Is my 4th level coupon good for another copy of Banished?
No. Oh, sorry. I will let you swap out that Banished Crystal for a different Banished Crystal if you would like, just to bypass the recharge mechanic in this instance.
Okay. Just in case one of those strangers comes back again. Or something worse.
Zeta would look at you all and say, there is one more way we can do this. We can have Axel join you as a class in your raid and have Grim and myself handle the other as well. I'm sure Grim is excited to get into the field. And Grim will just nod and say, it's obvious this is going to make a big splash anyway. I don't see the harm in me getting involved anymore.
Adhere's fine with this.
The only
I
way I'm doing
wonder, we might be able to do the museum without actually fighting that much. Like, we could heist the museum if we're only looking for artifacts.
Axel will nod and say, depending on what we find, it might be easier to do this quietly. My concern is there was some intel that the codex that is bound to the Fjordis girl may be there. It's a large object.
We've been pretty good with stealth.
Axel, not again.
So far.
If you guys want to go about this quietly, then I think it would be best that I stay back in a similar role to Grim. I worry that I will be identified on site and that I am not the best at this style of operation.
Do we know which museum it is?
Yes, you guys do. It's in the Stone Rose district. I can't remember the name of the museum off the top of my head, but I have given it to you.
That's fine. I'm just wanting to make sure we have the knowledge.
pretty sure Clara was there beforehand because she sold her knowledge.
No.
Was it a different
museum,
museum?
Different museum, yeah. The museum that Clara went to is with, like, sort of in the Sage district as opposed to the Stone Rose.
I was about to say that would be so convenient if they sold stuff to the museum, got money, went back and stole it.
I can't believe that Atira found the infinite money glitch.
Motherload.
I thought I was embodying the witch. I embody the merchant.
Putting a bucket on their head and just taking everything.
Oh my gosh.
I think the only way I'm seeing myself doing anything short term or near term is if I stay on distance duty. I don't know, grab myself a gun or something. But I
That would
don't
involve
think I would
having to
do
use
too
a
much.
gun.
Axel will say, we have some time until we need to do this operation. There's also... We could go back, rest tonight, and then maybe your class could head to the museum as a scoping out mission. Just visit it, look around, see what's there, see if anything stands out to you. And then we can plan our operation for the day after or something like that.
That sounds good.
That sounds good.
Or not.
Dafer, how long will it take to fix your army?
My armor, honestly, I'm more concerned about myself than my armor. My armor, I can pretty sure I can engrave it. I don't know, give me 48 hours and I can fix anything that she did. She didn't eat that many, but myself, I don't know. I'm deep exhausted, which is why I'm thinking I'll be on range duty, even if that's strength. I don't think I can go toe to toe with anyone in the near term.
Axel will stand up and say, are we able to leave at our discretion? Zeta will nod and say, just inform me of what you're going to do with the operation. That's all I require. Axel will nod and just say, come on, let's head back to the academy.
Before we go, I'm going to write down some of the words I figured out from the ciphers so far and pass that along to whoever she has working on translating the books.
Zeta will also mention that she will have an investigator interrogate Victor Howell / Caster. Are there any specific questions you guys would want asked of him?
Ooh.
Knowing that he could be compelled to speak the truth, as it were.
I mean, I don't know Caster. I don't. Can I think of
The Metal Arm Major Domo.
I will.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I will
Okay.
leave.
So
I will leave this as an open thing until our next session, shall we say. If there is anything during the week that comes to your mind or anything that you guys discuss, you can either DM it to me or put it in the chat as well. But yeah, if you do think of something you would like asked, then go ahead and drop it on me. But it doesn't have to be right now. That's fine.
Sounds good.
Axel will stand up, say his goodbyes, and lead you back towards the academy. He would assist Dafer as he's going and just say, you did well, again, against unknown opposition. Even with the intel we had, there was more than I expected on my side, and by the sounds of it, that was true on yours.
I think given that Axel is currently have one of Dafer's arm around his shoulder or something, he would notice Dafer shaking slightly. Regardless of how that went, I think I'll need a bit.
He nods. Of course.
I think at that he absent as one of run some of the lower abdominal teeth marks that he likely has there, where he basically was almost bit into.
Yeah, tracing the injury. you would arrive back to an academy that is, like, spookily empty, right? Like, all of the second and third years, the first years as well, like, aren't here. Mainly what's left is, like, you guys and some of the non-combat logistics students and things that are handling, like, third year missions remotely and things like that. It's, like, deathly empty as you walk into the shared area that's usually filled with conversation, someone reading a newspaper, people playing board games, something like that. It's just quiet.
Weird vibes.
Everyone else is out on their missions.
This seems like the perfect time to guilt trip Delphin into cooking.
Often around.
So out of character, I just had a very dangerous thought.
Good time for an attack?
No, there's
Oh.
nobody in their dorms. It'd be easy pickings to just snoop around.
How did you somehow get worse than what I was expecting you to say? Damn.
There's no one here. I can read their diary.
Yeah. Come on, Clar, we got work to do.
You know,
I feel like Caliban would just have a journal specifically, so in the event that Adira tries to read it.
Like a dummy
A
journal. Woke up, was perfect today. Every entry.
My brain immediately went to like some Looney Tunes ass. You open up the book and it just explodes, and here it comes out just covered in soot.
Just like eyebrows gone, hair straight up.
Look, if you ever bring up that idea to Caliban, he's gonna think that's a great idea.
God, no.
The first time symbol has ever been used in an actual D&D game.
Is there anything you guys want to do that evening before collapsing? I imagine, but
I think Dave very pointedly would not be cooking dinner this evening. Go to the cafeteria like the normal person and eat there, because there is just no fucking way anything is happening tonight.
Yeah. You go there. Yeah. You are, like, given preset meals to, like, choose from. It's cafeteria food, but it's still nice. You know, it's just made in bulk, basically, as you're given your tray of food and you sit down. I think it has, like, the added effect of, again, emphasizing just how few students there are here. Like, it's whoever's gone to eat in the cafeteria and the staff, and that's it. It's like tables for like 40 people, and there's you guys.
Ugh.
I guess pasta isn't the worst thing I could be eating right now. Not particularly protein rich. Could use more greens too. But hey, it's at least
you got chewed up a little bit, and you're acting like this.
I'm dying.
Dafer was the pre-chewed meal.
Oh no.
Yeah. It is the first. I think it is the. Did one of us go down before?
No.
I don't think.
Other than,
I think
other than in
training fights don't
training
count.
matches, yeah, I think it might be the first time you,
Yeah.
Dafer, have been knocked down. But I think someone else was maybe.
I think
before.
I got knocked.
At some point during Gold Bell Caves. I'd have to check.
During the ambush. during the ambush. I think some of us got close, at least. But yeah.
Caliban's just gonna cook something just to flex on Daver.
Yeah, Caliban, what would you cook?
I mean,
He thinks back to any of Daver's dishes.
You're gonna try and do it better.
One-handed, quite literally. Give me a survival check.
Oh, this is gonna suck.
I hope you fail.
I hope I fail too.
Burns down the kitchen.
shall I give you an opposed? Shall I give you a baseline?
Wait.
Like a check as a baseline?
Don't do it, Dave. You're gonna roll 1.
when-
Don't do it.
But I literally can't roll worse than him. Is the funny thing.
When you guys get back from your cafeteria, those of you who went to the cafeteria, you walk in to what is at first like a nice smell of spices and other things. But when Caliban like plates up this like kind of like an omelet dish, it's like almost glowing with the amount of heat that has been put into this thing. Like a bright red omelet that's just been like rubbed in ghost chilies and things. Like it is some horrendous, it almost looks like Clara's magma slime, but it's an omelet.
What in the
I
fuck
wish
have
you-
done?
I wish you the best of luck with consuming.
I like
that.
to imagine Caliban's already eating it, having already passed that save
Like,
for
just-
eating spicy food.
Just like like sweating, but otherwise like fine, Caliban, as you eat your own vile concoction.
I'll take a bite.
I think Constitution saving throw to
I think you have to roll for damage.
it. 20. Adhira,
From the omelet or from you?
it
Both.
it touches your tongue, and you can say nothing about the taste because your taste buds die. However, you could eat this. Like, it kills off the nerves in your mouth enough that it isn't gonna hurt you.
That is.
Until later.
Very well put.
She mutters a little at them, she finding the right word before going potent.
Justin Caliban is just like it's an acquired taste.
There's something seriously wrong with you.
There's something seriously wrong with me.
It looks like you put a whole kingdom's worth of spices into that.
I'm pretty sure I did put a whole kingdom's worth of spices into it.
Sometimes less is more. I'll leave you to that one. I think I'll go sleep.
I'm half expecting it to pillar at me.
Hey, that's an insult to slimes.
Wait, hold on. What if I gave this to the magma slime?
I actually.
You don't go anywhere near the magma slime. Otherwise, I will break your other arm.
Do you know any of the slimes that would be fine with eating this?
I don't know any people who would be fine with eating that.
He didn't ask about the people, he asked about the slimes.
I don't want the slimes to die.
Oh, so you're saying I'm built better than the slimes?
I would
built
argue
wrong.
this is built worse than the slimes.
I'm
Realistically,
not sure
wouldn't,
what's wrong with you.
out of character, wouldn't the magma slime just like burn this out? Like it wouldn't do anything to it because it's not like
I think
actual heat and doesn't have
I
taste
think
buds.
Clara loves her slimes too much to do science.
Yeah, with all due respect, if you want to take the L and eat another forkful, that's fine. I'm not making the slimes go through that.
Obviously, Dafer heads off to bed at that point, trying to get early start on resting. Is there anyone who wants to do anything that evening before bed? Whether it's like look at something you guys found that you're able to take, like the powder or the random axe gun or anything like that.
I would like to slip off to the crystal exchange and identify this thing real quick.
Okay, so Uther, you want to look at random acts, the new revolver.
Yeah.
Anyone for anything more, or you're heading to bed?
I was going to try and talk to Terminus about stuff, but I think I will go over my loot, the bag of powder, the rolled up portrait, and the Fortis family lockbox.
Okay, so you've got a few things you want to look at this evening. Do you want anyone to assist you with any of those things, or is that something you're going to do in your room away from everyone, Atira? Obviously, there's no one else around right now but your class.
I am going to get Lily. Just because I know she's kind of alone right now, and kind of just sort of giving up a little bit of her loot.
Okay.
And Hero will let Lily have whatever lockbox if she wants it.
Okay, so you're going to grab Liliana to come and take a look at it as well. Anyone else? Or are you happy there?
I'm gonna get some extra slime food and tuck them in good night. They did good work, I'm proud.
It's true, yeah, they were squad command. So, the revolver, Uther, is random acts of avoidance. 6 different bullets in it again, one of which has already been used, which is a banishing bullet, so anything that is shot with it would be banished. And now I'll go through each of the other things, and I will go through it as sort of slowly as possible, so you have some time with each one. So the second bullet is a dominate person bullet. Anyone shot by it is under the effect of a dominate person spell. The DC, if there's a DC on any of these, is 15 by default. Or your DC, whichever is higher. So if you have a spellcasting modifier that's higher than would put it at 15, it's yours instead. The third option casts sleep on the target at 5th level, and it only affects the individual shot. It doesn't do the 20-foot cube, basically. The 4th bullet is hold monster. The 5th bullet is planar binding. And the 6th bullet is wall of stone. If it's the wall of stone bullet, then you choose where it goes, but it has to include the square that the target you shot at is in. If it's a really big creature that you shot at, you can kind of choose where on the creature the wall kind of begins from. That is all 6 bullets in random acts of avoidance.
Okay.
I have an entry in the wiki for it.
You're so fast.
And like the other gun, it doesn't matter like when if you order you load the bullets in, when you close the reel, it like randomizes the bullets instantly.
Fun. Probably will be useful. Kind of missed the other one.
Adhira, heading to the year 1 dorms, knocking on the door. Liliana would open the door, look at you, Adhira, and say, "Oh, Adhira, Andrus is away on his mission."
I know. I came to see you.
Oh, would you like to come in?
Yes, please.
She'll open the door and let you into sort of the shared area of the first year dorms. It's a little different. I think you've been in here before. It's like slightly different shape to the one that you're in. And she'll say, So what do I just want to hang out? How is everyone else?
Oh, we're doing fine. Dather got hurt. He's fine now, just a bit shaken up. He's getting his rest.
It's
Things didn't.
hard to imagine something hurting Dafer.
Yeah, it took us all by surprise. But I have a collection of, how we say, she looks for a lamshy word to downplay ill-gotten gains. But I found this chest with your family crest on it, and I thought you might be one of the first to have a peek inside.
Insight check.
Bow.
You see the recognition on her face as she looks at her family crest in the box. There's like a familiarity with it as she looks down at it. She tips her head at it and she says, "Where did you get this?"
It was in one of the trains.
She like furrows her brow and like shakes her head and she says, "Like left on a train?"
Yeah. Well, one of the trains that the Glomite were going to use to escape from the city if need be, but it was laying there intact.
I wasn't aware that you were all still investigating the Glomite. I thought that had been handed over to the peacekeepers.
They gave us an option to see this through due to our connection to it. Something feels off. I'm gonna say out of character, I'm a little scared right now.
She just nods and says, "Well, thank you. I didn't realize your class was still helping me. I mean, obviously you've already done so much."
Well, you are a friend.
She nods and smiles. Shall we open it?
Sure. How big is it again? Like less than a foot long?
Yeah, I would say, I'm trying to think of like an everyday object that's like roughly the right size. You know like the normal bottles of Jack Daniels that are like a liter, they're like that squarish shape as well to it. It's got like a box shape to it. If you didn't have the neck on it and it was sideways, it's like that big and kind of that shaped.
Okay.
Do you let her open it up or do you open it up?
I'm going to open it up. Just in full view of her though.
Inside there are what at first looks like just ordinary pearlescent seashells, but you can see the seashells themselves have been like almost like gilded in silver and other metals, so it's like almost like a seashell dipped in silver with a pearlescent interior that's much more of like polished natural seashell type looking material. There are two of these. One of them like big enough to be like sort of like a sea snail size. The other one is a bit more like conch-like and is in one corner of the box. You also see two small rings in there. One is gold with a sapphire in the top, like a small little sapphire setting. And the other ring is silver with a kind of like similarly shaped in size but ruby setting. So it's like a gold and sapphire, silver and ruby pair that almost seem to go together at Hera. She reaches for both those rings without really any thought at Hera. She seems to pick them up, one in each hand, and look at them as if compelled by something.
Adhira narrows her eyes at the sudden movement. I recognize it as being like very kind of like subconscious level.
Yeah,
the control.
Like you're about to say something, but she seems to like almost like push past you to like grab hold of these rings, right? Like not she doesn't like shove you to either side, but there's a certain belligerence in her movement that sort of it's like jerky and it doesn't feel normal to you, Adhira.
I am going to, with the hand that's sort of like on the opposite side covered, I'm going to push the top of my jar off and summon Terminus underneath the table to just watch and observe.
Terminus appears nearby.
Hidden.
Give me an insight check at advantage, having Terminus nearby. 16. As you sit there with Terminus, something in your head says that there's something wrong with the fact Terminus is here right now. Like, it shouldn't be possible for you to actually do what you just did, Adhira. For some reason, in your head, there's this, like, I shouldn't be able to get Terminus out right now, and yet here he is under the table. She holds the 2 rings in her hands and says, I remember these. I was wearing them the day I disappeared. The day I was taken.
I'm going to kind of like put my hand on her hand and allow a finger to push over one of the rings. Does it feel magical? Do I feel like any kind of spell weaving itself?
I will immediately answer yes, but I also want you to give me an Arcana check.
I thought you were about to say Dex save, man. Yes, make a Dex save. 15.
There is a abjuration magic to it, Adhira. You I guess you've been around enough magical artifacts and crystals at this point that you can almost kind of get a sense of like this was designed to protect someone. The ring that you are touching is in her right hand. It is the silver and ruby ring, and it feels like protective magic. She looks down at your hand, kind of like touching the ring, and she says, I remember things. I remember a laboratory. Or at least that's what I think it was. I remember tanks, bubbles, small things swimming around in them. Not fish. Like isopods. She kind of like shakes her head. And then like winces in pain a little. I shouldn't be thinking of it.
It hurts still to try and recall.
Sometimes I wake up. Sometimes I have dreams that get too close. And the pain pulls me from my slumber. She looks down at the other ring. Gold and sapphire.
Is she holding the golden sapphire?
Yeah, she's like holding them, not in like a way that she would wear them, but like if you think
weighing them.
If you think of how you like hold a pencil, like kind of like that, with like her thumb holding the ring between her pointing finger, her like index finger, and the ring. So she's like holding it, each ring in each of these like pinched positions.
Can I see the gold one?
She like turns towards you, looks right through you, and holds the ring up for you to look at.
I'm going to trace my finger. She's not wanting to let go, is she?
She's holding on to it. She doesn't give it to you.
Does this feel like her doing that, or something that she's subconsciously doing?
Give me an insight check. The rings are precious to her, Atira.
Okay, Smeagol. Same thing, kind of finding a way to stroke it, so like inspect the jewel.
Another Arcana.
Same. Yes.
This one's more complicated as well, Atira. There's more than one school of magic on this ring. But what you do feel your finger touching upon the sapphire is... it, like, casts your mind back to her parents, in a sense. Like, even you have this injection of memory all of a sudden as you rub your finger across the top of the ring, and you think of her parents. She says, I think they took these from me. I mean, they must have taken them. They were mine. They are mine.
I think they did take it from you. And I'm beginning to think they may have done something to these rings.
What? No.
Just... Lily.
What?
I saw your parents touch that sapphire.
She shakes her head. It's... It's just an enchantment. To remind you of... remind me of home.
Is she lying to me?
I'm afraid it's another insight check. Atira, it's not lying or not that draws your attention. It's the inability to nail down a perspective that she's talking from. Like, it's not quite that sometimes she slips into talking about things from your point of view, but like from a third person perspective. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's not saying like Lily did this, but she's kind of being like, this is what it was for, but leaving out her personal self from what she's saying. She says, you got these today?
Yes, we did.
Give me a perception check, Atira. She suddenly lets go of the rings. They drop down into the jewelry box in front of her, and it's like a clatter that's way louder than it needs to be, because there's this death, there's no one else around. Pin drop silent, just the two of you sat in this space. Clatters into the box. she says, I didn't put it on this morning. And she, like, curls up her head against the table for a second, and you see, as she tenses her face, there's, like, wisps of purple begin to cry from the corners of her eyes, and they immediately, like, go gaseous and start to seep up her temples.
Okay. Out of character, was there something that I knew she was supposed to wear that I may have forgotten?
Dimensional
like
anchor.
She should be wearing a dimensional anchor as a necklace, yes.
That's right. I'm grabbing the box, taking it with me. I'm going to her room to try and find the anchor.
Give me an investigation check.
I have a frog helping me.
I'll allow it.
Oh, well, technically
he'll
it's like wherever
here. Yeah, so I will allow it in the weirdest sense possible. Yes.
I had the image of Adhira picking him up and throwing
Just
him
like
once he
just
appears
swinging
halfway
it
down the
around.
hallway. Like, there!
Yeah.
Holding it like a crucifix at a
17.
vampire.
17. You enter into a room that, you know, she's had made up. As you're looking around, holding Terminus in front of you, swinging around, him being like, this is he disappears.
There it is.
You're in front of a desk. There are drawers on the desk. It looks like there's, like, scraps of paper where she's been writing, maybe not a journal, but, like, poems or something like that, like doing some sort of art or poetry. But you don't see the dimensional anchor, like, out on the table or anything like that, Atira. But you get to the desk with Terminus's help.
Going through drawers.
You've got 3 drawers, top to bottom, 1, 2, 3.
2.
Opening up the second drawer, you see piles of crumpled paper with poems scrawled over every surface, the back, the front. They don't follow any sort of normal structure on the piece of paper. They, like, swirl around each other, to the point, Atira, as you look at them, you can start to make out, in the negative spaces that are left, the bubbling tanks, the strange creatures that Atira in this moment you would recognize as quickfires, like tanks of these shell creatures being bred in vats. But there is no dimensional anchor in this drawer.
Topmost.
Opening up the top one, you see inside several pieces of jewelry, and there, nestled amongst them, is the dimensional anchor.
I'm picking it up and I am returning to her. Is she still curled up in the same way?
Picking it up, turning around, she stands there, purple eyes, her hand outstretched. Lightning arcs from her fingertips, but the dimensional anchor disperses and shunts the energy out of this reality as it reaches the kind of, like, vestige point of the necklace you are holding, Atira.
I am not going to go for her throat. I am going to wrap it around her outstretched hand and snap it on.
You run forward, you snap it around her wrist, and, like, even before you've actually got it affixed to her, the presence of it seems to, like, wash the color from her eyes, and she goes a little faint and woozy and has to lean upon you, Adhira. She doesn't, like, pass out.
I breathe a sigh of relief, and I'm going to help her to sit on the bed.
She takes a moment. You can see, like, her head hurts a little. She's, like, now clutching this necklace she gave her and says, I'm sorry, Atira. I didn't think I needed it today.
It's alright. If anything, the fault is with me. Making you relive memories.
She shakes her head. You couldn't have known. I mean, I don't even know.
Well,
I
gotta
just
try to
want
make
this
it
to be over.
some way. I'm gonna sit there and hold her for a bit.
Hold her for a while. She says, you should take the box back. It was nice, and one day I want them back, but I don't think today's that day, Atira.
I understand. Hopefully sometime soon.
There's no one else in the dorms, is there, at your side, just your class?
Correct.
Would it be okay if I used one of the rooms over there tonight?
Sure. I'm sure Verity wouldn't mind.
Okay. And then she'll put the necklace on proper and walk back to the dorms with you.
The DM says, quit ignoring the quest NPC.
I mean, she was moved away, really. But yeah, she'll head back with Atira. If anyone's there, she'd just say, Atira offered for me to stay tonight. Didn't really feel right being alone in the first year dorms.
Now she's around friends.
She'll nod and say, that said, I'm a little tired, so I think I'll retire, but I'll see you all in the morning, maybe? And then she heads into Verity's room to sleep tonight.
I'm taking the box to Clara.
I'm gonna open my bedroom door.
We have a problem.
She takes one look at Adhira. She takes one look at the box in her hand. Stealing? Yes, it is quite an epidemic.
No, can I come in? Step on bed, step to Clara.
Do I have much of a choice? She's gonna step aside.
No. I can always just walk through. I'm going to go to Clara's desk, and I'm going to open the box and lay out 2 rings.
Okay. They look gorgeous, but I'm not an appraiser.
Yeah, I took these to Lily. You know, I belong to her family. I thought, she might want them. She started acting weird, and I think the rings were doing something to her, triggering some sort of memory. She didn't have a dimensional anchor on, and I almost got a face full of lightning bolt.
Yeah, been there.
I would like you to hold on to these rings. You are much more careful than I am. You take more precautions.
I'm gonna have a look at them. I know I said I'm not much of an appraiser, but I'd still like to have an idea about what I'm working with.
And I'll keep the guild shells.
Give me an arcana.
Can I Arcana check the rings. 13.
13. The silver and ruby ring, you recognize as a ring of protection. Just something that shields the user literally +1 AC, basically. The other ring, it has like a memory lodged in it, and it's got something to do with like maybe protecting your thoughts or something like that, Clara. It's very complex as you're looking at it. Like it has a degree of crysthalm and runes worked through it. Yeah, the only things you can really make out is there's something stored in the gem itself that seems to be like a memory, and the ring seems to be designed around protecting thoughts or something like that.
Did she say anything about these before she went all unanchored?
I relay the moment as best I can. It's a little fuzzy to me as a player. But she didn't see herself. Didn't seem herself. She kept talking about she remembers being in a tank, of seeing quick fires. She had little. I hear it lowers her voice just in case Lily is hearing. She talked about seeing these little creatures in tanks, and when I went to go and try and find her anchor, there were these scribblings, scrawls, discarded papers in one of her drawers. It looked like mania, but I think that's something she remembers from being kidnapped and experimented on.
Well, she did have one attached to her. This ring is about protecting thought. It's something like that. This one's cute, though. It's a ring of protection.
I don't know what that does.
It just... Imagine kind of like having an enhanced shell. It just makes it a little bit more difficult for people to pin you down.
Huh.
It's kind of a catch-all. You don't normally see them designed this intricately. I suppose because most of the people who would want one, they're not so worried about the fashion as they are the function. But if you're a noble girl, you would never be seen wearing an unadorned ring. Don't look at me like that.
I do a quick inventory of.
Yeah, Clara has quite... I'm not going to say like ostentatious, but her jewelry collection's very nice.
I click
You don't...
into my
There's
tongue
no
appreciation.
There's no point accentuating an outfit with something plain. It doesn't add anything. You might as well not have it there. Plain rings are for symbolism or for fashion. Sorry, symbolism and not for fashion. They're function. This other one, though, is weird. I think actually what it might have been doing is maybe something like stopping her from being able to think about certain things. And I don't know whether that's malicious or not. The intent here makes me think it isn't. Like almost burying bad memories so you can't be upset by them and get on with the rest of your life.
Maybe.
You would need someone far more actually talented in this stuff. Maybe take it to the boys. There's rune work.
Yeah. But when I rubbed my finger over, I saw her parents. That was when I started realizing something was wrong. I should have realized earlier when I got Terminus out that she wasn't wearing her anchor.
There's a memory trapped in it. I'm guessing whatever they're trying to protect her from maybe it's got something to do with them. The alternative is that it's something to protect her from being able to think about them in a negative way. It wouldn't be the first time. I've never seen it in an enchantment, but unfortunately, in noble circles, it's quite common to have blackmail or contracts written up between people. If you expose them, they get you back with something worse. It's how the status quo is maintained. This is like well, it could be a magical equivalent. But again, I wish I was talented enough with the way that Crystal works, or magic like Andrus, but I'm not.
I can take it to Dafa, and maybe it'll give him something to do, take his mind off of his close call.
I think you would know at this point, Tira. Dafa's probably fast asleep. He went to bed way before this.
In the morning.
Just so you know.
But this other ring is simply protection?
Yes. If she doesn't want them particularly, or if it's not safe for her to have them right now, it feels a little bit bad to say, but something like this maybe shouldn't go to waste.
As Clara looks up, Adhira is like halfway putting the ring on her finger.
I mean, yeah, sure, I guess.
I will say it does take an attunement slot, so do consider that.
Probably Dafa, maybe. Dafa could look good with silver, you know.
I'm not saying anything. As far as I'm concerned, I never made that suggestion.
Thanks. It's nice to have someone rather learned to help me out with this kind of stuff.
Trust me, I wish I was more actually learned.
Well, it's only our, second month here? We still have a year to go, and then several more years.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not stupid, but I'm not the smart one. Worldly, maybe, but not smart like that. Take it to Dafa in the morning.
Okay.
And I'm gonna count my jewelry, by the way.
What do you mean?
I mean, you just came in with stolen jewelry, and then you were fiddling around with my jewelry box on my desk. I'm counting every single piece. There better not be anything missing.
There's not. It says a few things in lab sheet. I want to just roll, not to actually do anything, but to see how well she would have done if she had.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no,
You can't even beat my passive perception, pal. Good luck.
The moment your hand gets close, Terminus opens their mouth up like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch when he's got his finger on the record, and plays like an air raid noise as your hand gets close to the box. Just like...
We are having a talk tomorrow night.
You used me as a dimensional anchor minesweeper.
Yes, and it saved my life.
You're welcome.
We're talking about his family tomorrow night.
Oh shit.
Sweaty now. I'm ending the scene.
Man, you're making enemies. You're making enemies of friends.
Usually that's my job.
Yes, true. Are you taking the ring to Uther, or is it short rest time? If it's short rest time, everyone can do short rest stuff, and then you can sort of... Oh, I guess we'll see what you guys want to do from then on.
Short rest, please.
Yeah, short rest buttons. Press them if you got them.
All right. Heck yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
On healing.
The short rest button doesn't auto apply healing.
I actually have no idea. Sorry, I never get to use character sheets.
Well, I clicked it. It didn't do anything.
Okay.
That answers that, I guess.
All right, I'm back up to full HP.
Nice. You wake up in the morning, Caliban. Slightly stiff arm, but otherwise completely healed from the break.
I have adapted to broken limbs.
No more limbs. Oh no!
He becomes slime.
Uso Christ.
Oh wait! Holy shit! Never mind. I figured out why the short rest button doesn't work. So if you have things set up as like little
resources?
like resources,
Mhm.
you can click the cog and tick what they reset on.
Oh. Do you know what? I think I vaguely remember that from when it first came in.
I apparently did it for one of my things and not the others, because one of them just reset.
Well, good news is I'm at half health.
Okay.
Imagine needing to roll hit die. SMH.
Just don't get hit, 12 hit.
I mean,
I almost got banished, but aside
True.
from that...
for the next week, if an encounter happens, I'll send Clara to the. She can use Uncanny Dodge.
She does, in fact, still have Uncanny, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sleeper build.
like to imagine that if Clara has to fight on the front lines, for some reason I'm imagining her with the push daggers.
Push, like the little, like, I think of
The punchy daggers.
punch daggers, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Some part of me morphs her into Tira, where she's just got the big hula hoop instead of and she just...
Oh, yeah.
I could definitely see Clara using a weapon like that as well.
I did, so I was going to. The problem was I have a character from a previous game who that was like their whole thing,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to do a direct repeat.
Understand.
Dafer, I don't think that added the +2 to it, did it? Yeah, so I think that's 4 temp HP to Uther and 6 to Tira.
Don't give me temp HP. I have temp HP
Oh,
until the next.
Pick someone other
Then,
than
Because
I already
I
have
use
mine. Caliban, I guess.
I use my form of dread. It gives me temp HP, and it doesn't wear off until
Gotcha.
long
Long
rest. I
rest.
think.
Yeah, usually long rest.
Yeah.
So 4 temp HP to Caliban instead.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys wake up the next morning. Lily is not out, so you guys wake up earlier than her as like a collective. Axel is not here either, so he isn't like waiting for you when you get up, which is kind of usual for him. When you guys have something to do together, he tends to be there when you wake up in the morning, but today he is not. So you're kind of just on your own as you filter into the breakfast space. What do you guys want to do?
Make the breakfast.
Yeah. Dafer has recovered enough to cook. You are saved from the oven.
It is, however, like, basically, Dafer for himself makes like a triple compared to usual, and it still visibly does not do enough. As he is now back up at like a 7th of his normal hit points. Yeah, I think this morning is a very healthy omelet with bacon, essentially. Like,
it is true, when you see something done wrong, your immediate instinct is to do it the right way. I will, like, as you're just like, today will be omelet without the molten aspect. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have...
Actually, one second, just to flex.
How high does the number go? Oh no. I guess still a
It's
little...
not that big, but it's still decent.
Yes, yeah. Still a little injured
It's...
from yesterday, Dayfro, but you do still
Yeah.
put it together.
But even brutalized, I basically curb stomp whatever Caliban's.
as you cook,
Man, wouldn't it be really funny if I just took whatever was left of my spicy red omelet and just dumped it into your...
some part of me
you can try.
imagines Caliban is that person that like carries a bottle of Tabasco with them wherever they go to just like pot on top of whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's always someone that's just like could do with some more spice. It's just like dumps the Tabasco on the top. While Dayfra is cooking, does anyone else have anything they want to do that morning? I don't know whether...
I'm Atira. I'd like to bring Dayfra a ring.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Atira wants to do that beforehand, although I do see that Capri just sort of left their seat, so...
Capri died.
I think that the ring would be brought up in front of Uther and Dayfra, but I'm unsure. So, I mean, is there anything else in the meantime?
Not for before.
Okay.
I think Dayfra would inquire what the hell happened in the time between like him having been out and him coming to what they discovered and that's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure.
And I think I assume during that Uther would at one point have dropped that there was a rune inscription on the golem that he took notes down on.
Yeah, I need to look up those runes.
Can you give me a look? I mean, it's stone engraving. It's not too similar.
It's crystal,
I'm familiar with
though.
some.
I would imagine crystal would be different than stone, but...
Some difference, some similarity. It's definitely closer than rune stitching is. Or drawing. Or painting.
And we did mention before, Atira, now you're back, I'm not sure whether you would bring up the ring with Uther and Dayfra before Liliana wakes up when breakfast, or like what you plan on doing there.
She would definitely mention it, or Liliana wakes up, kind of like not make her feel self-conscious mentioning it in front of her, just try and convey it as stealthily as possible.
Can we see it, or...
Yes, she'll take out the rings and...
It is a gold band engraved with runes, with like crystal bars in a sense, like little almost like little plates inside the inside of the band, equal distribution, and then a sapphire set in the top of it. As the two of you look at it, like at a glance, that's what you see.
That's fancy as shit.
Just a casual glance at the runes before I go into deep. What's the general theme of? Like, what general area do they do?
So, the general area you can see is like the idea of a vault, the idea of recalling things. You see runes to do with protection, which you would very easily pick up on, I would say, Dave, for looking at it. And there's something else there as well to do with, like, again, with this idea of a vault, but there's something in there, like, to do with the idea of storage. Just at a glance as you're looking at them.
Okay. Well, but, like, particularly the double mention would like, have very similar functionality, different aspects of would catch my attention.
Yeah, so it's like multiple runes around that concept. So it's trying to get it something like really specific substrate of
Is
that.
it?
Yeah.
I have a question, but I feel that's a question that would have to be done after a roll.
You can ask the
Yeah, I
question
was about to say.
and then maybe trigger
Is
the roll.
Is it putting something into a vault or taking something out of a vault?
I think therein lies the Arcana check. And if the two of you want to work
Got it.
together, you can have advantage. Whichever of the two of you want to roll, I don't mind.
The way I think this pans out is Dayfree is still in the kitchen and Uther basically while my attention is still on the cooking pot, we just converse around it and Uther takes a closer look.
Uther,
like even
give me an Arcana check at advantage. 21. At its most basic level, this ring is designed to protect someone from harrowing experiences. It gives someone resistance to psychic damage. But on top of that, you can store either comforting memories or harrowing memories in the ring. There's a limit to how many things can be stored in here, Uther. So, essentially, if you want to put a comforting memory in, you have to either take another comforting memory or a memory that you don't want anymore back out. So it's essentially like a vault for either good or bad things to recall.
Can I tell if it's full?
It is full.
Without attuning to it, can I tell what is stored?
The only thing you can tell is the first memory to be so like in chronological order. It happened before, so it's like the very first thing that was put in there, and that is the memory that Adhira saw when she ran her thumb across the top. It is a memory of the Fjordis' parents. It is a comforting memory, Uther.
So it's some kind of mind protection ring that you can store memories in. It's full. Without actually attuning to it, I know that the first memory is of her family. That's probably what Adhira saw. It doesn't look tampered with, but I don't know what all is on it. I believe it does not look... that is correct, Hinder. It does not look tampered with to me.
Yeah, like none of the runes are like re-etched or anything like that. It seems to be its original function. Uther, you get the impression it's like kind of like a ring you might give someone while they're traveling to like make them less homesick, or like something like that. Yeah.
I think, did Adhira share her experience with Liliana with the rest of us?
I assume she did.
I
do not know.
Or
at least
don't think she did. Part of it. She may not have mentioned the lightning.
Okay, but you would have mentioned, for example, that she has memories that are painful, and I think the key thing that's important to me is how you offered it to her, but she didn't take it, citing that it's for some obscure reason not yet time for her to take it.
That is.
Did you give that particular information to us?
I think it's just the way you're saying it is a little weird, but
yeah, you would have described her reaction to the rings and the fact that she gave them to you and said that she doesn't want them right now. It doesn't feel like it's the right time. Those were her words.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And you say there can be multiple memories, I think.
Yeah.
I think there might be some of. I mean, she is definitely avoiding thinking certain things because of, I assume, commands or something impressed upon her by the codex that's controlling her. That means maybe some of those are in there that would that kind of reaction. At least that seems sensible to me.
So Dafer thinks there are memories in there that if she accesses will hurt her or potentially kill her because she's not supposed to think about them by whatever the codex has done.
Yeah, and I think she knows that or fears that. I'm not sure of either of those.
Yeah, like either it's instinctual or she has like more of an understanding than she's giving on, but you're not sure which. Is that the sort of gotcha. Okay.
We need to find this codex.
That seems to be the sensible place, but I mean, if we do this, I'll be mostly doing bad. I think we can, but
We can scout first and then make a decision after.
Terminus sits on the counter and says, she might not be able to access what's in there, but one of you could.
I mean, I doubt I'll be of much use anyway, so I might as well use up one. Any opposing voices?
At this point, as you are talking about it, you hear the click of the door of Verity's room, and Liliana steps out and sniffs the air and says, I must say I've missed your cooking, Dafer.
I'm going to just palm the ring.
I missed my cooking yesterday as well.
I heard...
Alright, here, have a plate.
She sits down, takes a bite, and says, I heard you got injured. Also heard it might have been on, well, to some degree, my account. Sorry.
It's fine. It has nothing to do with you. We would have had to fight the globe. It's a matter of community safety at this point.
Thanks, Dafer. And then she starts tucking into the food.
How
are you feeling?
It was a little unnerving, sleeping in Verity's room last night. She has a lot of stuffed things with eyes.
Wouldn't that make it cutesy? I mean,
kind of, but when you wake up in the dark in a room that you're not really familiar with and there's things watching you, a little unnerving.
They're dolls, not things. I mean,
I don't mean to be
never
specific, but dolls are things.
but not.
Never thought of it that way.
As long as the eyes aren't following you, you're good.
They're much cuter in the day, I'll say that, but in the dark, all you see is the reflective surface of like porcelain with light. It's a lot of like I said, just a little strange.
I feel like I'm not allowed to comment. There are 4 slimes in my room.
Oh, there's more than I recall.
They had a baby, I think.
Congratulations.
Wait, baby?
Well, I don't know whether it's actually a baby. There were 3, because I collected 3 individual ones, and then they kind of spawned the plasmid egg.
Well, congratulations. You have a new slime.
Thank you.
What? Do you have any idea on what you'll do once they grow to? 8 or something? Hello?
I mean, eventually I feel like I have to release them back into the wild. But for now, they're just, we're friends. And they might not want to go. But that's on them, I suppose.
Maybe they'll want to pillow with you for eternity.
I would like that, really.
Liliana furrows her brow and it says, "Do slimes die of old age?"
Well, this is depressing for a morning.
Oh, sorry. Do you know what? I'd never thought of it.
I mean...
Me neither. Now I have. I
would have thought that you would have read up on that at one point.
I don't
sure you don't know it?
let them get old enough to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no offense, David. When I was looking at them, it was more like, how do I best take care of a slime? How do I make sure that they don't accidentally hurt anyone? How do I make sure the magma slime doesn't burn my house down? Not like, when are they gonna die?
Most documentation written on slimes is about how to deal with them as pests as well. So it's less of like, just wait 80 years, they'll die. Or like, it's more like, burn them.
Like rats only live a handful of years, but most documentation on rats is how to get rid of them.
Yeah, basically the same vibe. Yeah.
I have like some. No, they lay eggs. Out of character, I was gonna bet like, I bet you they just mitosis.
Well, it's a little bit of both, isn't it? It's like somewhere between. They do mitosis, but instead of a cell. I forget what the middle's called for some reason. My brain's gone completely blank. They have like the
nucleus.
The nucleus. Instead of a nucleus, they have like that little core, basically. So it very much is kind of like that.
I suppose they're more like bacteria.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of just like bacteria.
It's not really mitosis. It's like a plasmid.
They're amoeboids.
Oh my god, quite literally like a plasmid because they're like plasma-y. That's the technical term.
It's just called mitosis. It's fine.
Liliana will just say, I suppose you're out today.
Somewhat.
If everyone's good to do some museuming.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I wonder, I have a thought. It's a terrible thought. Do you think getting her close to the codex do you think she could feel it?
I'd not chance it.
Getting me close to what? Or is that something you said out loud, Uther, I guess? Or you're asking that at the table?
That is like Uther out loud, just like like brain is operating faster than, or mouth is operating faster than brain in that one.
She looks at you, Uther, and says, "The codex? The one I'm bound to?"
Yeah, we have an idea of where it's at. We were going to do a scouting trip before we jump into smash and grab.
Well, if it's just scouting, then what's the problem with you coming along?
Well, it's technically an outfit operated by said organization that kidnapped you, I believe. So I can see the hesitation from the rest of the table.
She chews the inside of her cheek and then says, "Who's in charge?"
We are an anarchist community, I would imagine.
Well,
therefore,
we have someone in charge.
Axel's in charge. We're just going to say Axel's in charge. Let's not start slapping labels onto the group that is going to get all of us on watch lists.
She puts down her fork and knife. She kind of like unruffles her outfit and she starts marching towards Axel's office.
Oh boy.
Well, she's spirited. I'll give her that.
That's Axel's problem now.
I don't think this is a good idea, because if anything happens, we're in a good position to do anything.
Are you gonna tell her that? Because I'm not taking that hit.
I mean, worst case scenario, we can outrun probably most of their looks. Their biggest threat that we're aware of is literally in lockup right now. I mean, if there are agents that we don't know about, they are busy trying to put out fires.
I don't know. They are backed into a. They could be pulling any kind of. I'll be back, and Dave would make his way to Axel's.
Okay.
I'm gonna shake my sleeve, drop the ring back in my hand. Where do we put this?
Caliban.
Normally on your finger.
Your crystal tablet makes a like pling noise as if you've just received like a message.
Who's it from?
What's interesting to you, Caliban, is you've never heard this sound from your tablet before.
Oh god, oh fuck, someone took him off airplane mode.
What was the sound again?
It's like a pling for like receiving a message, but either you don't have sounds enabled on your little tablet thing, or this is a different sound, because you've never heard this tone before.
Has he ever received a message from anyone on his...
I mean, you guys
tablet?
message each other all the time.
That is true.
I have my tablet on vibrate.
What
do you
is
want
the
to
message?
look at it, Caliban, or are you like purposely?
Yeah, I'll look at it.
There is a message on screen that says, "Receive from untrusted source, accept or decline," and then there is your uncle's name underneath it.
I knew it was gonna.
Oh, hold on. Time out. Why the fuck does his uncle's number ping as a spam call? Jesus
Because
Christ.
of who he is.
Yeah, anyone else could message him, but since he lost that sword, anytime he messages anyone, it's untrusted source.
Man, someone at the phone company hates this guy.
Everyone at the phone company hates this guy.
Anyway, I'm sorry, that just struck me. I had to point that out. Carry on.
No, I'm glad you caught it, because that was my entire intent.
I look at Clara. Oh boy.
Why are you looking at me?
I show her.
Oh. I mean, you should probably open it anyway, right?
Not your device that gets a virus.
He's afraid to hit accept. Like, just accepting is gonna put a fucking virus on his tablet. But he just eventually he presses it.
You hit accept. There is not a lengthy prose of a message that you were sort of like expecting to see here. Instead, there is like a crystal capture of a document which Caliban, as you scroll through it, is a unofficial sale registry for the sword that was lost, and an auction notification which looks like the missing blade will be sold off soon. At the bottom of the message is a small piece of script that says, "We should meet soon." And that is the entire, like, message contents.
Of just a receipt and a...
It's like...
Of the...
It's like an advertisement that the missing blade will be on sale soon. There's like it will be auctioned off. There's no location given, but it's almost like the kind of thing that would be passed around people who already knew where this was going to be. An illegal auction, yes.
Oh, boy. I'm just going to type where.
You receive an address that is in the Stone Rose district that looks to be maybe like the apartment that Bahnir is staying at or something like that.
And I'll just type when.
As soon as possible.
Oh boy. I will just leave it at that.
Okay. Meanwhile, across the academy, Dayfra, you arrive at Axel's office to the imperious tone of Liliana, who is laying into Axel right now. Basically pulling rank as a noble family member, being a member of the Fjordis family, saying, "Not only does this personally involve me, but I have every right, as one of the protecting families of this city, to engage in any peacekeeping operation. This is not under the jurisdiction of the Academy from what you've told me, and you are not in charge." That is what you arrive to as you get to the door, Dayfra.
I like to loudly knock on the door frame.
She wheels around, like, sort of, you can see red-faced, having already said many, many more things than that before you arrived. But that kind of knocks her out of it a little bit, seeing you, Dayfra. Axel takes this momentary pause to be like, "Liliana, and you are judicially correct. However, there is no way your parents would authorize it. And beyond that, if you are hurt, then it betrays every point of us taking on this operation in the first place." And she sort of like chews the inside of her cheek before saying, "You need to know what it is you're dealing with. And I am linked to this codex. I'm linked to everyone else in there. Let me help. You have done so much for me. And if I can bring about this being a certainty, if I can know, if it's done, then I can go home."
Have you considered whether we have the resources to pull?
She looks at you and says, "If you don't have the resources to do it, then my being there or not isn't going to change anything."
It is, because you being there means we need, not should, because on so many levels, there is no way we'll ever risk a bullet even coming near you. So we'll need to be able to account for scenarios where, I don't know, a dozen or so of their mooks are going to be lying up. If we're all almost half out of commission, Caliban, once again, silky as the morning can be, then we'll need to have the resources to do something about that. And we're not too fresh. None of us are.
So everyone else gets to risk their lives. For me. And what? I get to sit around and be rescued again.
Have you trained your entire life to fight to die in combat?
Dafer, I have not had my entire life. I've only just gotten my life back.
Then it might make sense to not take undue risks. I wouldn't dare set foot in a host of other battlefields. This is one where I have at least some slight level of knowledge, and I wouldn't want to just involve further to put us all even further into danger when this one getting
Axel will
getting all entire lives put in danger.
look at Liliana and say, Dafer is correct. It will complicate things. You will be an additional objective that needs to be kept safe. She says, but you just intend on looking. I just...
Last time we tried to go on a mission, look at light and find a lost friend of ours. In exchange, we got hunted by a gigantic dragon, half, and had an entire army of bones. Things go wrong.
You can see her sort of deflate and sit down. Axel says, I can't even give you a crystal in case of an emergency for you to escape. Your anchor that you're required to wear makes that an impossibility. I'm sorry, Liliana. I really am. But let us do our jobs one more time. I didn't really intend for you to know this was going on, but... it's almost over. I promise you. We're gonna get this done. You see her, like teeth grit, hot cheeks, teary at the like edges of her eyes, but she just nods.
Any other day I would be on board, but not after yesterday. If we'd be a little bit more rested, if we had a little... Definitely.
I think you do see her look at you, remember hearing about your wound, see that you're still not standing right. That seems to have more of an impact than anything, seeing that you are hurt and sort of like, it's a mixture between like, because you can see in this moment, Dafer, there's sympathy for the fact that you are injured, but there's also like a sense of like, it's my fault, but also like Dafer said that it would need to be done. Like you can, there's so many, like she's at war with herself still in this moment,
Okay.
and that's why why she has stopped attacking, because she's too busy trying to work out internally how she feels right now.
Okay. I think that particular look, once Dafer recognized, because I think something similar he would have like seen in his life, or like other people taking on guilt, that kind of look.
Yeah.
And I think that would kind of trigger something in Dafer. And I think uncharacteristically, he would somewhat sharply say, "Don't you dare take responsibility for something that is. We didn't get hurt down there just for you. We got hurt down there for 8 dozen different reasons. We did this for ourselves just as much as for the people that we wanted to protect. Don't you dare just put this upon yourself. That's not just your burden to shoulder. And we're grown up enough that we have to deal with the consequences of our actions."
There's some part of her that had not expected to be dressed down or like reprimanded for what she is feeling. So there's a moment of shock. And I think you see that shock leads to initial outrage. She goes from guilt to anger very quickly. She's fine. And you can even feel it by the time she stormed past you, Dafer. She like storms her way out of the room. Some part of her is already cooled. Like she like steps down towards the stairs and like takes a shuddering breath in, stops, looks at you and says, "Good luck." And then heads down the stairs away.
As I think as her back is turned, Dafer would give her a tired smile. "Thank you, we'll need it."
Axel will walk over to you, put a hand on your shoulder and say, I think that was as well handled as the situation could have been. This is getting messy. We'll take care of it. Hopefully this will be it. She'll be able to go home.
Dafer's fist that he subconsciously had clenched this entire time, like rather tightly, he notices and consciously unclenches. That didn't sit well with me. I think I'm not. I don't think I can deal well with, I don't know, being this looked down upon. No, it's not that. I can't put it into words. It's this, oh, let your woes be upon. I can't.
He says,
I just can't.
It's a bit of a noble's trap, I believe. Their obligation is to take on the concerns of everyone around them. It's supposed to be the penance for the benefits and standing they receive. She is right. She's missed out on most of her life, but her childhood is still in there. Lessons her parents instilled upon her. You have to remember, she's still as old as she was when she was taken away. In some sense, she's still a young teenager.
I think that causes a look of visible realization. How... I don't think I heard how old she was when she was taken.
She was around 13, and she was missing for over 10 years. It's half her life. I can sympathize somewhat with how that feels. Not exactly, of course, but she's going through a lot.
This is weird. I never thought that she'd be that much older than we are. Never felt like it, but I guess that's the problem. Shit.
It's fine. She...
Do you think I need to apologize or what?
Why don't we just give her some space for now? She's got a lot to deal with, a lot to think through. Give her some time to unpack it. And then hopefully we can bring her some good news.
I guess I never had to empathize too deeply. How it feels for the person that feels like they are giving something. It's still not correct. It's not if we do that for us.
It's not.
I guess that's still how she feels.
Yeah. It's still real to her.
Yeah.
Let's head back to the class and we'll organize where we go from here.
Yeah. I can already say whatever mission we have tomorrow. If we go deeper in any way.
So yeah, I mean, he'd go back to the dorms. Are you guys planning on heading to the museum later that day to like scope it out, or what's the vibes?
I think going stealth sounds solid. Like first scope it out very, very carefully. Like extricate basically immediately if dangerous.
I'll have the detect magic crystal on me as we go through the museum, and I can try and figure out where certain things are being stored.
I think that's as good a place as any to leave off before we head over to the museum and start finding out what's in store. But yeah,
nice.
We'll close the session there.